Do not obey. Zombie talk. I've seen some fish you cannot explain.
What's up, guys? It's me, Do Not Obey. I hope this doesn't bother y'all. I'm outside. It's hotter than the devil's. And this is my little win thing that I use faithfully. Okay. Now, today we're going to be talking about ancient magic books, spell books that still exist to this day. Okay. And I think a lot of these books have been allegedly and still are allegedly being used in Hollywood, government, Illuminati groups, Skull and Bones, cults. I'm just saying. It's knowledge, I think, that all of us are supposed to be able to read and equipped, but I think the people that know about these books are using it for their dark advantage. So let's jump right into this video. Okay, so this first book, or we can call it PMG. Now, this was given the name by scholars, okay? Now, it says it comes from the Greco-Roman Egypt era. Now, this book is supposedly contains magical spells, formulas, hymns, and rituals. Okay. It also says that the materials in the book date back from from the second century BC to around maybe the fifth AD. Now, this book is one of the oldest and most influential texts of medieval magic. Now, this is what it's saying. Some say that the texts were compiled to help preserve the core teachings of sacred magic. The core teachings now, which I think all of us is supposed to have this stuff, but the powers that be, allegedly, I think they hold them for themselves. Oh, also, I'm just giving you guys short descriptions, but I will leave the link down below so you can read all about these books and everything that they have in them. What I'm reading right here does no justice to any of these books. It's just to get you guys attention and kind of draw you in. So if you want to go look at the source or the article yourself, you could really see like all the stuff all these books have in it. Okay. So some say that the texts were compiled, like I said, to preserve the core teachings of sacred magic. Now, supposedly, there was a conference, right? And all these magicians or, warlocks, you never know, wizards and stuff, all supposedly met together. They decided to condense all of their knowledge, all of their teachings, everything that they know into a 93 chapter page book in one big old book. So that is the book that we're looking at on the screen. Now, this book is from the 16th century. It says it dictates the name of supposedly 69 demons. Now, the title itself indicates that the demonic monarchy was false and was an insult to those who basically believed in demons and hell. Now, this book also appeared in the appendix of Johann Weyer's writings. Probably messed that up, but I'll throw a picture up here so you guys can know what the hell I'm talking about. And it is the primary source now for the demons listed in many other books, including the Lesser Key of Solomon. Now, my thing is, why not make a book that says that all this stuff isn't right or isn't true to deter people from really understanding what we have to go through? We're not dealing with flesh. We never have been. We've always been dealing with the spiritual world. We've always been dealing with principalities. So the main way to not have people ready and prepared spiritually, to me, is to throw out books that says, oh, this doesn't exist, or have certain officials, you know, tell you this is not what it is, or hide things. It's a hot air balloon, stuff like that. Not letting the truth get out, basically. That's basically what I'm saying. Okay. Okay. Now we get into the Lesser Key of Solomon. I'm actually going to buy this book. It's got a lot of major sections to this book and a lot of things connected to this book. Now, it says that this book dates back to the 17th century, and it is known to be the most popular books of demonology. Okay, it says that this basically deals with summoning demons. Now, this section right here dates back to the 14th century or earlier. Now, also in this book, it contains detailed descriptions of spirits and conjurers or conjurations, excuse me, that is needed to invoke or oblige the spirit, so the spirit will do the will of the conjurer. Okay, it's like being an exorcist. I believe in this stuff. I believe me, I done seen demons or whatever. Okay, allegedly the Catholic Church knows about demonics. The Catholic Church allegedly has exorcisms and exorcists. So whatever, okay? Now it also has signs and rituals to be performed. So these are the actions necessary to prevent spirits from gaining control and a whole lot more. Like I said, I'm just breaking this down slowly, and I'm sorry I got a little distracted. My oldest son was driving by, and I got to wave at my baby now. It's my baby. Okay. Okay. Now, this is the first selection, but kind of like the second um in the Lesser Key of Solomon. So basically, you got the Lesser Key of Solomon book. We started off talking about the first selection. Well, within the first selection, we have this book on the screen. Now, it says that this book contains descriptions of 72 demons. Now, that Solomon said that he invoked and confined in like a brass vessel, but with magic symbols, and it goes into a whole lot more. Okay, that's why I want you guys to literally like click the link that I leave, because I think you guys would love to read into this more. Now, the second selection, which is right here on the screen, of the Lesser Key of Solomon book. Now, this book explains the characteristics and the seals um, of the 31 aerial spirits. Now, they're called chiefs, emperors, kings, and prince. Now, also, it also talks about invoked and confined spirits by Solomon, and it gets into a whole lot more, guys. Like I'm telling you, a whole lot more. So check it out. Now, this is the third part of the Lesser Key of Solomon. Now, according to the legend, this book that we're seeing on the screen, this is known to be art that was discovered by the Apostle Paul. Now, but in the books, it mentions that the Pauline art, I hope I'm saying that right, of the King of Solomon was basically pulled out and related to the Lesser Key of Solomon book. The first chapter within this specific book deals with angels of several hours. Now, this is what it says of the day and more. So, I guess this selection, the third part, gets into the angels and angels for time and angels for days. So, I thought that was cool. So, if you guys want to get into that, the link will be there. All right. All right, so now we have the fourth now in the Lesser Key of Solomon book. Now, this book goes into demonology. It was compiled back in the 17th century by an unknown author. They have no idea who wrote this book. Now, they say that it's the blueprint now of constructing a magical wax altar, like a Ouija board. That's what it says, which allows you to speak to angels or maybe demons. But maybe back then there were boards that were made for the dark and boards that were made to connect to the light. But I think our Ouija boards allegedly were created only for darkness, because a lot of people use them for darkness, and a lot of darkness comes out of them when a lot of people have good intentions. Well, some that have the good intentions still can pull out dark entities. You know what I mean? So I just think like there's secrets out here that we'll never know. Maybe we'll find out when we leave this body. I don't know. But there's so many secrets that we should know now. It would make our lives, your lives, whoever's lives, probably a whole lot better. Now, this is in the fifth section of the LKS. I'm calling it the LKS, okay? If you don't know what it is, figure it out. Now, this book dates back to the 13th century. Now, it says that the book asserts that this art was revealed by the creator. Now, I think they're talking about the creator of all. And by the means of an angel to King Solomon. So the creator made it, the creator gave it to an angel, and through the angel was able to give it to King Solomon. That's what I think. Now it says that it contains collections of prayers, how they should be said, and it also goes into relation that these rituals need to be understood in a certain way and to have an understanding of how spirituality connects to science. Picture that. Okay? I already knew that. I'm just saying. So, my thing is, we all say we got to pray, go home and pray, 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 pray. But what if we do not know how to pray right? I believe there are certain words to help invoke the light, like how to get seen down here. Not saying that prayer can't be heard, but I think how to really tap into the spiritual world is all in these books, in these so-called hidden books that nobody wants to believe in because we don't want to believe in magic. We don't want to believe in stuff that is unnormal. Well, what's normal? I think we're all insane because to me, there's more things that exist in the world that is out there and there's proof, but we don't want to see it and we don't want to hear it. That's all I'm saying. All right, let's get to the next one. All right. Now, this book is claimed to be written back in 1575 AD. Now, it has also an unknown author. Now, it's possibly linked to a cult group, but it contains dark magic and malicious spells, which could be used allegedly in Hollywood, allegedly in the political polls, allegedly in certain churches. All right, so this book is the most important book, surviving documents for the practices and understanding of occult practices in Iceland and in the medieval era. Now, this is an ancient Arabian book of astrology and connects to occult magic. Now, this dates back to the 10th or 11th century. This is what it's saying. Now, it has gained notoriety for the obscene nature of its magical recipes. There's things that you can mix up. I've got some books in here on things I can mix up to help protect my energy, to help send out positive shields, stuff to put on your doormats to protect negative energy from coming in. I'm telling you, if everybody could get back to the nature and get back to the truth of why there's certain crystals in caves and certain hot springs, healing waters, the world would be a different place. Now, this book's purpose is to teach the science of magical talisman and rings and the art of necromancy. There's certain necklaces, charms. I wish I had my little rocks on me that I carry around for anxiety. I've got a white crystal for negative energy I can release into it, right? Now, it's also believed to be written in the 18th century by a French officer who served in Napoleon's army. And we could break down Napoleon later. I'm just saying. It's just like Hitler. They were tapping into the spiritual ish. They knew that this ish existed. They knew there were other things around and other beings that are here older than us and that they're here. Allegedly, so does the United States. But we're taught that none of this exists. All right, so this book was supposedly written back in the 15th century by Abraham von Worms. I hope I got that right. I'm going to throw a picture on the screen. Now, a Jewish traveler now who encountered a magician during a voyage. This is what the book is about, their voyage to Egypt, right? And how this info was passed down and the knowledge was obtained. A lot of these books that I'm talking about, I'm going to actually try to buy them so I can read them and break them down more in the future. Because, like I said, all of these books that I read, this is just this much and all the information that I could have told you guys. Like, seriously. Like, I'm being totally serious. So yeah, so this was one of the last books that I found. If I find any more books out there that I could compile together, we'll do a part 2. The link will be on the screen. I'll leave it down in the description below. But just know that we could be doing a whole lot more spiritually if we wasn't confined. And when I say controlled, I mean like controlled spiritually. I think there's things put in place to keep the people allegedly in a sense of sleep. Even though we're not walking around sleep, spiritually, I think a lot of us are. I don't know. I can't explain it. Anyway, but I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I just got off work. I was like, gotta sit down. I gotta do this for my peoples, okay? So like I always say, guys, do not obey. Stay woke. Peace.